So on this episode of Tips Appreciated, we're going to be talking to Vic about New York. She's been there 7 times. I have a
Mm-hmm.
lot of questions since I've never been there. We're going to talk food, activities, and maybe some of the things she regrets not doing. So stay tuned for this episode. Okay, Vic, you've been to New York 7 or maybe 8 times. I
Yeah,
haven't been
I
once yet.
yeah, I've lost count to be
You have? Okay.
honest.
So that's more than I have.
Mm.
What I have prepared for you today are a bunch of questions. So I'm
Ooh, okay.
hoping it's a little Q&A for myself and
Mm-hmm.
for our viewers. And for our viewers and listeners, I have not shown Vic these questions. So
Yes.
let's see how this goes.
So I
Um,
can answer them.
okay, so we like to travel for food.
Yes.
So what are the top 3 places you would recommend to our listeners and viewers when they hit New York?
Okay. So number one for me is Ippudo. So Ippudo is a Japanese chain and they specialize in ramen. So one of my tips for you listeners and viewers is to go at lunchtime because I enjoy the lunchtime menu because not only you could get your ramen, but you could get side dishes as well. You could get karage, so that's like fried chicken, or you could get raw octopus. So it's like marinated in wasabi. And I think there's chicken as well. And you get like a small bowl of rice. So it's like I don't know, a value meal, I
Okay.
would say.
You,
But for me, it's worth it. And I don't know, like if you go there, another tip, okay? So it
okay.
doesn't matter. Like the first time I went to New York, there was only one Ippudo. I think now there's 3 locations in New York or Manhattan.
Right.
But every time I went at lunchtime, it didn't matter what time it was. There was always a lineup. So if you want to hit it up at lunch, always go early, like maybe 10 to 15 minutes earlier to get a seat.
Okay.
So yeah. But for
So
me, lunchtime was the best time to go.
so the first one that sticks out is Upudo.
Hodo. Yes.
Okay. Tell
Okay.
me about the raw octopus. What was that like? I've never had raw octopus. Was it
Oh,
moving?
no. It's not like I've had
It's
the
not
moving
live.
one. No, I've actually had the moving one in Korea.
Okay,
That
that's
was
the picture you sent me a long time ago.
yes,
Okay,
like
okay,
that.
okay,
It's
got
like
it.
crawling around, but
Okay.
no, it's like totally different. It's like raw octopus. It's like really little. It's like a small side dish, and yeah, like it's marinated. So they put wasabi in, and then you mix it up, and I think they have onions in it as
Okay.
well. But yeah, it's like I don't know how to explain. It's really good.
All right.
It's not like fishy tasting, but it's more wasabi
Nice.
tasting.
Okay, so number one, Ippudo,
Mm-hmm.
go at lunchtime,
Go like
get
oh,
the
don't
ramen.
forget, yeah,
Oh,
get the ramen, but don't forget to get the pork buns.
oh, the
Like
pork buns too.
yes, the pork
Okay.
buns, because like the bun itself is so nice and fluffy.
Okay.
Yeah, right. And the pork, or yeah, the pork belly is so like buttery and soft.
Wow.
But yeah,
Okay.
no, totally. You got to get
Okay.
the
Lunchtime,
ramen.
Frito.
Yeah, get the ramen, get the buns, get like the octopus. Like that was my favorite. Like karage would be my second, but octopus was like my favorite.
That's a good
Uh,
mix, though. I think you get a
mm-hmm,
good flavor. You get the ramen and then the 3 side dishes,
mm-hmm.
all different. All right.
Yes.
Okay. Number 2.
Number two, let's go with Shake Shack.
Okay.
So I know the first couple times I went, it was only in New York they had Shake Shack, but I think now it's kind of all over the states.
Yes.
Like I know it's in Vegas.
Yep.
I think in LA now as well.
Chicago as well.
Yes, Chicago as well. But yeah, Shake Shack's my favorite for their mushroom burger.
Okay.
Okay, so it's a vegetarian burger. So it is a portobello mushroom stuffed with I think mozzarella cheese, and then it's coated with breadcrumbs and then deep fried. So it's probably not the best healthy burger to get, even
But so
though
good.
yes, it's so good. You've had it before.
I've had it before
right?
in Vegas. It's so good.
So
I
good.
had it when you told me I must order that when I would go. So I got that and a beef
Mhm,
burger. I
mhm.
just needed to have both. And it is that good. Yeah.
Yeah, but then which one did you like more?
Oh man. I did like the mushroom burger more.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
it
think
just has a
they're
good taste to it, I
yeah,
think.
and I think they use Hawaiian buns or something like that. They
Oh,
use
the sweet buns maybe?
yeah, I think they
Yeah,
use a
okay.
different type of bun. But yeah, so their portobello mushroom burger is my favorite, and their milkshakes. Like so they
Oh,
have a bunch of different milkshakes, but yeah, you got to
yeah.
I would like for myself, I like sharing. Like I couldn't drink one for myself, so
Hmm.
I would like share it because it's like just so thick and
Okay.
rich. But yeah, that's
Okay.
my second place.
Okay. Give me three. The third place.
The third one, it would be Halal Guys.
Like one of the most I've never been. I was in Vegas and I saw
Mm-hmm.
it there, but I didn't go, which I deeply regret now.
Oh.
But I think Halal Guys is one of the most iconic street food vendors in New
Mm-hmm.
York. Okay, so tell me more about that. Or
So you have to go to this one location. We'll put in the description which one is the legit one because I know there's a lot of other halal carts
Mhm.
around the city, but you have to go through this one, like the first. I think it was like the first one or something, like the legit one. But yeah, like what we got. I'm pretty sure I got the chicken one, but you gotta ask for the white sauce and the red sauce. So the red sauce is obviously spicy, and the white sauce is like a cream, like
Okay,
creamy sauce.
is it sweet?
A little bit,
Okay.
but oh my god, the red sauce is actually pretty spicy,
Is it
but it's
really?
good.
Okay.
It's good. You have to get
Okay.
it. But
Okay,
yeah,
extra white sauce you've told me in the
yeah.
past too.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so number one, let's recap. Ippudo.
Mm-hmm. A
Number
poodle.
two, Shake Shack.
Yes.
And number three, Halal Guys.
Yes, but there's so much more.
Oh, I'm sure
Like,
there's so much
there's so
more.
much more. But for
Okay,
top three, every time I went to New York, I always had to do those three for
those
sure.
three are must do all the
A
time.
must do.
Okay,
Must eat.
must eat.
Yes.
Actually, shifting gears to must do in terms of activities. So when I think of New York, I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, I gotta go to Times Square.
Mm-hmm.
There's tons of shopping or whatever. So,
Mm-hmm.
what are your must do activities there?
Must do activities. So I'm a big Broadway nerd, I would say, but I wouldn't. So being in New York so many times, each time I didn't go to a Broadway show, but I would have loved to. But it gets like super pricey because it obviously is
Hmm,
not cheap. And being from Canada, the currency exchange and stuff. So I do try to go to the ones that aren't traveling yet. You know how usually they bring the Broadway shows around like
right.
different cities and stuff. So like I know for sure if there's a show I really want to watch, I buy the tickets way in advance because they get sold out so quick.
Yeah.
And I know when Book of Mormons came out, that was selling out so fast. So I bought those tickets, I think 8 months in advance.
Wow.
So I bought those tickets before I even bought flights or hotels or anything.
Cool.
So yeah.
Wow. Okay. So the must do Broadway, get your tickets
Mm-hmm.
far in advance.
Mm-hmm. And do your research because even though you might say like, oh, I don't like musicals or anything, like Book of Mormons was so different. Like, yeah, it was a musical, but it was like a comedy show as
Yeah.
well, right?
Okay.
So yeah, I don't
All
know.
right.
I think just do it because they're hiring the best of the best to
Yeah. The cast,
be,
right?
yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
to be in these Broadway shows. So they're like very talented, and I think they do like at least they work like 6 days a week or
Right.
something like that. Even
Okay.
like 2 shows a day sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I would recommend that.
So one of the shopping places that I want to go to is the World of Nintendo. Did you go to
Heard-
there? Did you go there?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, what's that
So
like?
that one's actually right by Times Square. So
Okay.
for me, yeah, you go to Times Square is like once or twice. Like, yeah, okay, it's yeah, like you have to go if you've never been.
Right.
But
Yeah.
being there so many times, you're like, okay, I'm over it kind of thing.
Okay.
But Nintendo World, it's actually, I think, connected to 30 Rock. So yeah, like Nintendo World, it's 2 floors, but yeah, just like full of like stuffies and toys. And I think upstairs they actually have like a little bit of history of like the Game
Cool.
Boys and like how Nintendo
Yeah.
got created and everything. I don't know if they change it,
Right.
but yeah.
Okay.
Like it's all right. Like, yeah, you gotta go because it's
You
like
have to go if
intense.
you're there. Okay.
But since you're at 30 Rock, I recommend going to the Rockefeller Center, like all the way, like top of the rock. So you're up on top. I would say that's like the one of the best views of
In
like
your
the city, like from this,
really.
like
Okay. Okay. Awesome.
yeah. So one tip is reserve your time early because a lot of people try to go when it's like sunset to get
Oh, so
that
you can
nice
see.
photo. But yeah, if you
So
go a little bit earlier, try to get your spot.
right. Right.
'Cause,
So
yeah.
so you buy tickets to go in. You reserve a time slot, or do you just
Mhm.
kind of line up to get the time?
No, you reserve a time
A time
slot.
slot. Got
Yeah.
it. Okay. Okay. Next question is like firing around here.
Yeah.
What is the one thing you wish you would have done but never did?
Okay. So this one's hard to get. I've never gotten it. It is SNL tickets. So for that, they I think you have to enter into like a draw during like the summertime, like maybe August or something like that. Right? So you have to enter in a draw. And then they will email you with like tickets. Like, okay, say your ticket is in January. That's when you would go, but they wouldn't tell, but you can't be like, oh, I want to go during this time. But it's so rare to
Yeah.
get tickets. So yeah, that's like one thing I would have loved
To
to
do.
like
Yeah.
to do. But I did get to see the stage because we did a 30 rock like a Rockefeller Center like a tour.
Mm.
So we got to see the stage, which was cool. And it's so small compared to like what you see on TV.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. Question 5. What is the one thing you did and wish you would have not done? What was a complete sort of
Oh.
waste of time that you're like, do not do this if you're in New York. Don't fall for the tourist trap. What is it? Can you think of
Don't
anything?
fall off with tourists. Oh no. I don't I can't think of anything to
Okay,
be
well that's
honest.
good. That's
Yeah,
good.
yeah, yeah.
So everything we're talking about today is like must do. Nothing
Mm-hmm.
stood out. No warnings. Nothing
Yeah,
to be
nothing.
done. Okay, that's great.
Yeah, nothing.
Well, because my sense is there's so much to explore there. If I were to
Mm-hmm.
go, I'll go with my wife or my kids,
Mm-hmm.
and these are all like first time going to New York things that we go is
Mm-hmm.
where do we eat, like, where do we go, like do we see the shows, all those things. So far so good.
Or okay, maybe there's like one place. Okay, so
Okay.
I actually bumped into like a couple other friends that were in New York, right? And this is kind of like before you could kind of buy Wi-Fi to like
Mm,
travel because like beforehand you would have to plan everything at your hotel where there's internet, and then during that day you do whatever's on your
right.
list. So I know we met up a group of friends and they're like, oh, where should we go eat? And that's when we're like, oh, I don't know, we're in Times Square, like let's
Yeah.
find something here. And then we just ended up at Papa Shrimp. What's that place
Oh,
called?
Bubba Gumps.
Yeah, Bubba Gumps. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, we ended up there and I was just like, ugh, out of all places to
There's
eat,
one in the
like,
mall here. I'm just
yeah,
kidding.
is that yeah, exactly. But we went there to eat. I was like, ugh. I would have been like happy with a slice of pizza, to be honest, than to
Right.
eat at a chain like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's probably like one thing I was
Right.
like, meh.
Okay. Speaking of pizza, though, have you had New York pizza? What was that
I
like?
had dollar pizza.
You had
I
what?
wanted dollar
A
pizza.
dollar pizza. Okay.
Yeah, it's not
Good.
bad. Cheese
Nice.
pizza. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Love.
it's not bad.
Okay. Love dollar
I think we
pizzas.
went to, I think it was called Two Bros or something like that. I
Okay.
don't remember, but yeah, it was like $1, $1.50, something. Yeah, like super
Nice.
cheap. And
Okay,
like the
that's great.
slice was like decent size.
All right, cool. Okay, two more questions.
Oh.
Number six now. You've given some great advice and tips.
Hmm.
So if you were to recommend to people who want the best sort of full New York experience, where would you stay? The most central, walkable, easy to get around.
Hmm. It really depends. Like, do you want that touristy vibe?
Yeah,
You want that?
the first
Okay,
time to New York, you've got to
first time. Okay. So maybe you don't stay in Times Square because it's so expensive, but maybe where Herald Square. So it's a little bit more south, but it's only like a couple blocks away from Times Square. So it's like walkable. And Herald Square, it's where the big Macy's is. I think that's like
Mm,
where they do the Thanksgiving parade and
right.
everything like there. But there's like a huge train station there as well, so it's easy for you to hop on like different trains to get around the city.
Okay.
Yeah, I would recommend in that area where
Okay.
it's still a little bit busy but not like too touristy where you're like stuck in Times Square and
Okay.
paying that price.
And paying that price. Okay, so that's a good alternative, but you still get the experience.
Hmm.
All right. Last question, number seven. I don't know how I came up with seven. I usually would think of 10 or something, but odd number seven. If you had 1 hour in New York, where would you eat?
Oh, Ippudo.
Okay, so back to number one. So it's
Yeah, back to
definitely
number one.
Ippudo.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. And would you order, what would you order? Same thing? Or
It's
would
probably
you,
same thing.
you just had an
Same
hour?
thing. Yeah. Like I'm not well, maybe I'll hit up there and then can I go to a different place for like dessert or something like that?
Okay,
Like,
sure. If you had an
okay,
hour and a
so
half for dessert,
okay,
what would
I'll
it be?
I'll go to Ippudo and then go take the train or find the closest location to Magnolia's Bakery because they have the best key lime cheesecake there. It's so
Really?
good. Yes,
Okay.
like my favorite. I think they're famous for bread pudding or something. I don't remember, but like or custard. Yeah, but I always got the key lime. Is either key lime? Yeah, it was cheesecake, like key lime cheesecake. Yeah, that was.
Wow. Okay.
Mhm.
So hour to hour and a half. Your meal would be Ippudo and then Magnolia Bakery.
Yeah,
Okay. We'll put that in the description so people can
yeah,
read and see it.
fine.
All right.
There's
So,
so many places. I
oh,
had
I
to narrow
know.
it down.
Well, that's why you've been there 7 times, right? Because
Hmm.
so you have to go more than once. But this is a quick lightning round of questions. If
Hmm.
you want to go there for the first time, or maybe the second time, maybe not quite the seventh time,
Yeah.
but at least you get a sense on where Vic would go or recommend
Hmm.
if we had these. Okay, thanks. That was my questions because I've always been
Oh
wanting
wow.
to go to New York. Number seven.
Okay. Well, why don't I tell you like some family activities like you could do too?
Okay.
So
Yes.
one thing I really enjoy doing is going to the Natural History Museum. Like you can spend a whole day there.
Kids would love
And
that. Yeah.
oh yeah, it's awesome. Even though I've been there so many times, it's like you always see something like new.
So places like Ippudo and stuff, are they family friendly, would you say? Like
I
enough
would say they're
seating?
Yep, I would
Big
say
Shack,
they're family
obviously,
friendly.
but yeah.
Oh yeah, so yeah, no, I would say Ippudo is family friendly.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if you could bring in because New York restaurants are like pretty small and tight,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
So I don't know if you could bring in like strollers and stuff like that. Like
Hmm.
yeah,
Okay.
but I would say it's family friendly.
Okay. What about like you talked about transportation a few times. Is it
Hmm.
mostly like the subway,
Hmm.
cabs? It's kind of what you.
I mostly took subways. Like
Okay.
I think the only times I've taken a cab is to go to the train or not train, sorry, the airport. Yeah,
Okay.
so the train is awesome, but for family, like since your kids are a little bit older now, it's fine because you don't have a stroller or anything, but I would say
Yeah.
it's more difficult having a stroller, especially when it's like busy times,
Yeah.
because the
Yeah.
trains do get pretty full.
Yeah. I would say kind of what I hate to say it this way, but kind of what you see on TV sometimes, right? Is
Yeah, yeah.
it's quite busy. It's a big city, all those
Mm-hmm.
things. And
Yeah.
when is the best time to go, would you say?
I would say fall would probably be the best time because summertime there is super hot, like
Okay.
so hot because it's so humid. Where it's when you leave your hotel, it's like you're already sweating and you feel like that
Oh, okay.
stickiness because
It's like
I don't know.
mugginess.
Yeah, because when you get out of the airport, you have that like smell like right away. It's like just kind of smells like garbage.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
you,
yeah.
you kind of don't notice it like later on, like when you stay there for a couple days, but that's
Okay.
like the first thing you notice. And then when it's super hot, it gets like super
Stick.
sticky. And yeah, I would recommend fall or spring.
Right. And then
That's a nice time to go.
airports, is it easy to navigate?
So my favorite airport to fly into is actually LaGuardia. So
Okay.
it's not in Manhattan, obviously, but it's in I think the Bronx, but it's not too far from Manhattan. It's closer than JFK Airport and Newark. So Newark is in New Jersey, but a lot of people fly in there as well to go into the city. But yeah, my favorite is like LaGuardia.
Okay. Cool. All
Mhm.
right. So one of my bucket list is heading to New York either as a weekend trip. Is
Mhm.
that enough? A weekend trip, would you say?
No, I would
No.
like for your first time there, I would recommend 7 days at
Okay.
least.
Full week.
Because yeah, you'll
Okay.
see how it goes really fast, right? And especially like activities you
Yeah.
want to do. Ooh, another family friendly activity thing you could do. It's called the Accomplice. Yeah, it's called the Accomplice. And I don't want to spoil it, but it's kind of like a scavenger hunt, but with like
Ooh.
real actors and stuff. So
Okay.
I can't spoil it, but if you just search it
Sure,
up,
sure.
like we'll put a link in the description. But the first time I went to New York, because one of my friends went and she's like, you have to do this. And I was like, what is it? She's like, I can't tell you. Like, I can't tell you what it is. I'm like,
Okay. That
what?
sounds like fun.
And I don't know if you know the actor Neil Patrick Harris.
Mm-hmm.
So he actually recommended it too. Like he was on, I think Regis and Kelly or Kelly Ripa and someone else. He actually talked about the Accomplice, like this thing. He's like, "Oh, it's awesome." We'll link in the description so you people like everyone could like watch. But he like raves on about it. But yeah, me and my friend had a really good time, and that's all I'll say. Like I don't want
Okay.
to spoil it anymore.
Okay. So maybe what we'll do is we'll end it at that.
Mm-hmm.
We've talked about some cool stuff, places to eat.
Mm-hmm.
We'll put some of the stuff in the description. You've certainly got my when we can travel again
Mm-hmm.
on the list is New York to try all these things.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I will mention one thing that's that's not family friendly. So
Okay.
say you and your wife went to New York and you wanted to experience something different and unique. So you know how I was talking about Broadway shows before?
Hmm.
So my friend was like, "Oh, you should try like an interactive kind of play." And I was like, "Oh, what's that?" Right? It's like, "Oh, you're actually in the play." It's like, "What?" So we went to one that was called Sleep No More. That's like a really popular one, but I know my friend went to one that was called like Alice in the Wonderland. So she actually got to follow like the rabbit and stuff. But for Sleep No More, they actually hold it in like an old hotel building, right? And it's like I think 3 or 4 floors. You could run up and down like the
Wow.
stairs, right?
Okay.
So the time I went, I actually had an air boot on. So imagine me trying to run with like certain characters and going up and down like the stairs. Like that wasn't fun for myself because I'm just like, oh my god, I'm
Right.
tired, right? Because I think the play was about Macbeth or I think it was about Macbeth. I don't know. It was like a Shakespearean play. So it was actually really interesting because you go in and I think they repeat the play like 3 times, but in the end they move everyone in. Oh, I actually shouldn't spoil it, but like
Okay.
I shouldn't spoil it. But it
Okay.
was very interesting, like
All right.
super, super interesting. Because when you go in, they actually give you a card. Oh, I don't have it here, but it's like a playing card,
Okay.
right? So they'll be like, okay, everyone with like a queen, come with me. So they do that because they don't want you to be connected with who you're with, right? They want you to
Oh,
experience it by yourself.
cool.
So here's a funny story,
All right.
actually. So I went with my friend and we're like, okay, yeah, we're totally separating. It's fine. Like,
Yeah.
we don't need to follow each other. So I went into the elevator and it's kind of creepy, to be honest. Like, you're in this like dark hotel, whatever, yeah, like running around. So you're like, we get into this elevator. It's not like a normal elevator. It's kind of like a shaft elevator, like one of those like
Yeah.
big ones.
Yeah.
So it's in there, and then like a couple was in the elevator as well with me, and then the person um that was like controlling the elevator is like, oh, like you guys are such a cute couple, right? And then she grabs the boyfriend and throws him out and then closes the door. And she's like, yeah, you guys aren't supposed to be together. And then we just start going. I was like, what?
That's
Right?
awesome.
So then once like she opens like the next one, I just like ran out. I'm like, I don't want her to like pull me out. And I was like, but yeah, the girlfriend was so freaked out. She's like,
I can't believe this happened.
yeah.
Okay, so
yeah. Yeah.
oh,
It was
cool.
something different. If you want to
Yeah,
experience like a different type of play, if you're
Yeah,
like
yeah.
into that. But
That's great.
yeah, it was crazy. Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, and we wore a mask. I actually still have the mask, but I don't have it here. But you wore a mask the whole time you were there. So imagine running around with a mask. It gets pretty hot.
Sweaty. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, well, on that note,
Yeah.
that is a great way to close this episode around New York. My top questions, some bonus fun stories. I like the boyfriend getting kicked out of the elevator unsuspectedly. Just get out
so bad.
with force. All right, so don't forget to subscribe, like, comment. Any New York tips, let us know. Share your experiences. And I think the next episode, maybe we'll try a place that I've been to that you haven't.
Yes, Hawaii.
And come up with Hawaii.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, let's
come
do
up with
Hawaii.
your 7 questions.
Okay.
Or 10, whatever.
Yeah.
And we'll go through that.
Okay, cool.
Cool. Have a good day, everyone.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, bye.